Os.
Us.
Welcome to Bushido 3. I am joined here with Errol Koning from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Thank you, Errol, for coming in today.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
So tell us, how old are you and where are you fighting out of?
I'm now 34 years old, and I'm fighting out of Mike's Gym, Holland, Amsterdam.
All right. And how many years have you been a kickboxer?
Oof. I think I started when I was 7, because I was fighting a lot in the street, and at school. So my mom decided to put me on a kickboxing sport or I don't know, martial arts sports,
Mm-hmm.
and it helped me relax, and I think 7, and then I continued because I stopped. I was playing soccer later on. Then I stopped playing soccer because I was scouted for Feyenoord, and so I decided to go back to kickboxing. And my first match was at 8 years old. I was 18 years old.
18 years old?
Yeah, so now it's like 16 years, man.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, man.
When was your last fight?
Oh, last year, March 3 in Utrecht, Holland.
Okay.
This was my first light heavyweight fight, and it was also a title fight, so I became Dutch champion from the, I don't know which organization, but I won.
Nice. Yeah, there's lots of different organizations in the Netherlands and also all around Europe, correct?
Yeah, around the world.
Yes, definitely. We're starting to have a definitely sort of influx in kickboxing here in America too, which is very good, and also Muay Thai boxing, because for a while it was only boxing and MMA and no holds barred, and they had some type of kickboxing, but we're actually having real organizations that are trying to solidify the sport and bring it up. We want to be like the Dutch, get it brought up to that high level, because the Dutch are definitely the highest level in kickboxing.
I don't know why, but I don't know. Maybe because of the potatoes we eat. I don't know. Something like this. I don't know how it can be that we're that good.
Yeah, it is very good. I think that martial arts, when I got over to the Netherlands, it was really cool on how there's Taekwondo, there's karate, there's kickboxing, Thai boxing, and you guys seem to train hard. And, I've been to different gyms in America, around the world, where, they train good. But I must say, when I started training in Holland, it was hard training, especially when I went to Kop's gym for the first time.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to Mike's gym yet. I hope to go
Why
there.
not? So why didn't you go?
I don't know. I've been always sort of hanging in Almere for a while, and then going back and forth from Almere to Kop's. So I think on next trip I come, you'll hopefully take me to Mike's gym then.
I will for sure.
All right. Good.
If you're here, contact me and we'll go, man. Then we'll go on Wednesday or Thursday, because then we do the sparring, And Mike's gym is known for its sparring.
Oh, definitely.
This are insane. People get knocked out. People get injuries. I don't know. I think you've seen it before. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've seen it on YouTube before, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I like to mix it up, and I'm like, they are really putting it out there. Yeah. You guys have some serious champions out there.
Thanks.
Yeah. Have you ever so you've always trained kickboxing since 7 years old, and have you moved around, I guess, Holland at all then?
Yeah. Before I was living in Maasluis. It's near Rotterdam, and I started training at the time it was called Diamond Gym.
Okay.
And the trainer was Vincent Vielfoy. He is also a known Dutch champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started moving to Almere.
Okay.
Where I'm at now. And then I was looking for a gym, and I found Ropi Gym. It's also known around this area. Yeah, and I was 16 years at that time, and I've been staying there for like 12 years.
Mm.
And then I moved to Mike's gym because my career, I don't know, it blocked somehow. I didn't grow as much as I did before. So I had to go to another gym and upgrade myself a little bit.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
went to Mike's gym.
Yes. And would you say that that was a very positive thing to move your camp to Mike's gym then? That has helped you a lot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there was no actual challenge left for me. Because
Mhm.
all the fighters that were there, they were at a lower class than I was.
Right.
So I pulled them up to a higher level, but I got stuck. I got
Right.
stuck at a certain level, and yeah, so I had to I don't know,
Let me
explore my
explain.
world or something.
Let me explain this for the American crowd. So what Errol was talking about is certain classes. In kickboxing, there's certain classes. There's class N for new, C, B, and A. Class A is the highest level, what we consider professional or world class, and Errol is class A. And so when you have a lot of guys that are B and C, they can be good sparring partners, but they can't push you to that level of another class A because class A fighters are the top level fighters, especially in the world.
And even at the class A, you got the lower
Yep.
levels and the higher levels. You got Badr Hari, and you got, I don't know, some some guy is just a heavyweight A class fighter.
Right. So even there's different levels in class A. So you have world class. You have world class guys that are going to fight for world championship titles. You're going to have guys that are class A that don't have that draw or possible knockout power, but they have put their time in where they have maybe 25, 30, 40 fights or so forth, but they're not on about a higher Errol Konig level, correct?
I've like I've around 60 fights, I think.
60 fights. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And And how many fights does it take to get to that class A level, do you think?
Um, let me get this right. At the N class, the new
Yeah.
class, um, you have to win like 3 fights to get to the C class, and in the no, let me explain my career then.
Yeah, yeah.
I had like three new class fights,
Hmm.
um, 5 C class fights, 10 B class fights, and the rest was all A class
Hmm. Okay. Very
level.
nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So in America, the way that it kind of goes, I should just speak for my state where I'm from, is if you do 5 fights as an amateur,
Yeah.
then after that you can go pro. And
Really, that's it.
yeah, that's it. And that's not I don't agree with it. I don't like it myself. And because
I think you have to protect the fighters, a little,
yeah,
because
yeah, definitely.
they're gonna walk around like bait or something.
Hmm. Because even in my gym, I make guys fight more than 5 amateur fights before going professional because you have to have that experience. You have to have that toughness to your body. You know, I've been doing this. I've been doing martial arts for 33 years, and going from one art to another art, I tell people it's definitely different because I did Muay Thai boxing for so many years. I did Taekwondo and karate, but then coming over to do Dutch style, that was totally different for a while, because of
Yeah.
the pressure fighting, the combinations. We weren't doing high volume combinations in Thai boxing, but when I trained with you and before it was like high volume, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need a minute. Let me catch my breath.
Yeah.
But definitely it's a different art. And that's why I think, like you said, it takes more than 5 fights too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So B class is like a semi-pro in here.
Hmm.
So they start to get better. They start to get they fight 5 rounds of 2 minutes.
Hmm.
You know, so they start to get used to the Muay Thai experience or something. I don't know how to call it, but
Or the
something.
kickbox, ring experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely ring experience. Yeah, because I know when I came out of retirement after I took 13 years off from fighting,
A
and
lot.
yeah, that was the craziest thing I ever did was come back because they wanted to put me as A right off the bat, and I was like, no, guys, I haven't fought in a long time. I'm 40 years old and all these surgeries, and they're like, okay, we'll let you fight Class B. And so luckily I got to fight Class B, but it's still the Dutch levels I have noticed are different. I will just say different than the American classes, not on how my fight went, but how I've watched, say, Dutch versus American fighters or North American style fighters. We only
Yeah.
have very few. You guys have lots of top level fighters, definitely.
Yeah, because there's a lot of gyms around here, so the competition is really high.
Yeah.
Uh, there was an event almost every weekend, and not only one event, but multiple events.
Right.
So that's why the level is getting so high, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, that's one thing. I was sitting down with my coach, Mike Van Interzon, one day, and he showed me his phone with all the different kickboxing fights over a weekend because he had them all
Yeah,
loaded in. And I was like, oh my gosh, just in 1 month, I'm not kidding you, I counted 20 fights.
yeah,
And as you know, and as most everybody in the world knows, America's a little larger than Holland.
that's
And
true.
there's there's no way I guarantee where there's not 20 kickboxing fights in a weekend going on, at least in my state or at least in our region of the Midwest,
Yeah,
maybe work nationwide. That might even be a stretch to see if we're getting 20 kickboxing fights in one weekend.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's awesome seeing that the martial arts has been taken over like that in your country. I think kickboxing is your second biggest sport, correct?
In Holland,
Yeah,
yeah.
what's your second biggest sport?
Cool. I think for and number one is football.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think kickboxing is real big here. It is, but um, yeah, people associate it with criminality here. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's no, it doesn't have a real good name in here. It
Right.
starts to getting better, but still, I don't know. I don't know. So,
Yeah, I was watching a video on YouTube one time, and it said over 150,000 active kickboxers live
yeah,
in the Netherlands. That's a crap ton, dude. That's a ton of people. We're not even close to that. And like active, like we have a lot of kickboxers, but meaning active, like people that are competing, people that are keeping it going. That I thought it was really cool when I came and I was training at Mike Van Interzon's gym, and next to me there's a lady that looks like she's the football mom, where she takes her kids to football all the time,
yeah,
right? And for Americans watching this show, football is soccer for us, you guys.
yeah.
So
Sorry,
so
man.
as we're doing the bags, hitting the bags, I'm like, this lady can hit. Oh my gosh, look how good she kicks. And I asked her how many years has she been doing it. She goes, I've been doing kickboxing for 12 years or 13 years. I was like, oh my gosh. Usually, we when we have soccer moms, they're like, oh, I've done it for 10 days and I'm gonna quit, just because they
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
lose like a pound or two. And it's awesome that you got people that are normal everyday people that fight or don't fight over in Holland, and they're just like, I'm a kickboxer. Doesn't matter if they're a football mom, a computer programmer, professional fighter, or even a football player. They're doing kickboxing, you know?
yeah, yeah. True. Don't mess with them in the supermarket.
I know that you can't mess with nobody in Holland. You don't know that person be like, pop, 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 pop.
He'll fuck you up.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
definitely.
man.
So, do you have any children?
Yeah, I've got two boys,
Oh, okay.
and we're planning on having a third.
Uh-huh.
So uh,
Nice.
I think a boy too, because I only make boys.
Ah, that's funny.
No, I've got two boys. The first one's called Jason.
Uh-huh.
He's 11 years old, and the second one is Jonah. He's 3 years old now.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're my little rascals, man.
Oh, very nice.
Making me tired. They're poof. They're my
Put them in
inspiration.
kickboxing.
They're my everything, man.
Now they're gonna kickbox too.
No, um, no, no. If they want, they can.
Yeah.
Jason, the oldest one, he was doing kickboxing for a little while. He didn't
Mhm.
really like it, so, and he's really good at soccer, at football.
Mhm.
He's in the, yeah, how do we call it, selection team, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
the first team. So it's a high level. And
Mhm.
my youngest, he also does football, but indoors, with for little kids.
Mhm. Okay.
And he's really good at what he does.
Mhm.
So both, I'm proud of them.
Very nice. Yeah. I always say that I just love kids to be active. It doesn't have to be the same sport that I do or the same martial
No,
art that I do, but if they're active, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's for sure. They can be sitting around on their butts all day.
No, not at all. It was funny when Mike and Ramon came to America. They tried to get my daughter to do kickboxing. She
Yeah.
took the gloves and threw them back at him. No, no, no! I don't kickbox. I don't kick.
Oh, shit.
And I was so embarrassed. And
Oh,
now she
really?
loves kickboxing. Yeah, yeah. She kickboxes all the time now. So yeah,
She coming with you to the gym?
yeah, yeah. She comes to me with comes with me to the gym probably like this since Corona. We've been going to the gym about 3 4 days a week. I train her there, and
Nice.
then when normal session is in, she usually trains about three days a week. Yeah,
All right.
I want to
No,
bring
no, no. But
Netherlands next.
sorry.
I want to bring her the Netherlands next to train.
Bring her, man.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Jason. He when I was a trainer at the Bonyaski Academy, from
Okay.
Remy Bonyaski,
Yeah.
he I was teaching the kids and their adults over there, and Jason, I was single at the time, and Jason came with me almost every day to the gym. I think that's why he didn't want to continue kickboxing.
Gotcha.
I think that's the main reason, but he doesn't want to do it anymore. So I think I pushed him toward maybe.
Do you play football with your kids then?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So your skills are still pretty good for football?
I'm fast as fuck, man.
Ah, nice, nice. And after I hit 32, I couldn't run no more. So yeah,
No,
yeah, I ended up having some knee surgeries. So I'm
that's
not able to run very much, but I still like to kick the ball every once in a while. Yeah,
yeah, all right. That's nice. As
yeah,
long as you play with your kids doing fun stuff, that's all right by me then.
yep. So what was one of your hardest fights that you ever did? You remember the
Mm,
person?
what?
Oh, like the person. What was one of your hardest fights that you had? Whether it was a
Whoa.
win or a loss, but something that you remember.
One of the hardest fights. I think. Um, I I think against Miles Simpson.
Okay. Yeah.
Miles Simpson. Yeah, was our first world title fight. My first world title fight. I won, but it was 5 rounds of 3 minutes
Hmm.
and total war.
Yeah.
The crowd was a chaos. Wow, it was really intense at that time. Yeah,
Mhm.
man. I think that was one of my best and hardest fights against Miles Simpson. Yeah.
Uh, did you get cut at all in that fight or take any
No,
major?
nothing.
No.
No,
Good.
the tempo was just really high,
Hmm.
and it could go both ways. He
Hmm.
could have won. I could have won, but yeah, yeah, it was a real battle, a real
Yeah.
total war. It was a war. It was a war with a
That's
lot
what
of
I like
respect because
about the
we're
fight.
friends. We were friends at the time also.
Oh,
And
okay.
we also trained a couple of times together.
Hmm.
So the feeling was a little crazy, but we did
Yeah.
it anyway. We're sportsmen,
Yeah.
so
That's what I've also noticed that a lot of Dutch kickboxers are friends or have trained together, have
yeah,
sparred together, and so that's a lot more contact than we have in America because a lot of times they're like, okay, we got you a fight. This is who you're gonna fight. Guy might live say 100 miles away, so pretty far, you know, away from us, or maybe only seen them on Facebook or seen a video, but it's pretty cool. It's like you've trained so many places or know so many people, you sort of get to know people from the world like that of kickboxing. So it's like, hey, yeah, I sparred this guy once or twice, and yeah, I'll fight him now.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool where you can spar somebody and then you can have a game plan right off the bat. Be like, oh yeah, I remember he didn't have this or had that or whatever.
Yeah, no, and here the distance is shorter, you know, and there are so many gyms, and sometimes you go to another gym just to spar, or, you know, to train with a friend of yours. So that's why you know so much fighters in person.
Right. I like the tight community that there is in kickboxing, how you guys know each other and know where, hey, this is who's sparring this day and that day. You could probably spar 7 days a week, find somebody to spar 7 days a week, right?
Yeah, if your body can, you can.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd try that though. Especially training in the Netherlands. I wouldn't try sparring every single day, or at least hard sparring.
No, that's not good for you, I think.
Uh,
Or also, we also punch to the head. Sometimes we kick to the head too. So
yeah.
you gotta be up to it.
Yeah, keep the hands up.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes.
Or you will get knocked out.
Definitely, yeah. So we're just about done with the interview, but I wanted to take some time to have you thank anybody that you want to thank at all that has helped you become the martial artist, the fighter, and the man that you are. So the floor is yours.
Gonna do me like that? All right. First of all, I wanna thank my trainers, you know, for bringing me up to this. My wife, you know, for supporting me always, and my parents. Look at my friends, everybody that I know that I'm good with. Thank you, and America. People in Wisconsin.
Yes.
I hope to see you soon.
Yep, definitely. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you once again for doing this interview. It was fun. And us.
Us.